I'm Maurice Mosley, the hair doctor from East St. Louis. Started from the bottom, and now I'm on top. I gave it all I had, and then it gave me back. I'm into it 100%. We done had shops all over the world. We made our own products.
What got you into hair? And could you give us a little bit of your background, how you grew up, what kind of household you came from, Mr. Maurice?
Oh, I came from the bottom, nothing, zero, dirt, and wanted to be something, and I wanted to do it legally. There were so many opportunities that I had, but those opportunities wasn't opportunity that I want. I wanted to find something, and when I got into the hair industry, it was great. Me and the hair industry blended. We mixed well.
What got you into the hair industry? What was your interest like? Was that the interest growing up or did it develop over time?
It developed over time, and it wasn't a limit to it. I could go far as I wanted to go, and I wanted to go all the way.
Can you describe your household growing up? What kind of, I know you say you started at the bottom, but like a mother and a father in the house?
Just a mother.
What did she teach you growing up?
The basics. The basics to be a decent person, treat people the way you want to be treated.
What kind of, how many siblings did you guys have?
It was seven of us.
How was that growing up with seven siblings?
We all had it hard, but it taught us to appreciate stuff. Anything, the smallest thing, well, we appreciate it. I never had a birthday, and I accepted it.
What schools did you go to growing up?
I went to Dunbar, Hughes, Queen, East Side.
So you was out of that South End area, sound like.
Yes.
What did you do after school when you graduated from East Side?
Got into barber school.
What prompted you to want to get into barber school?
I had friends that dealt with it, and I played with it a little bit. But the older I got, the more serious I got. Then it turned to be a job. It's what I was doing and what I liked to do, and I wanted to continue.
What year
was this? I'm happy to be able to do it.
What year did you start cutting hair?
Oh, 69.
What was the going rate for a haircut back then?
$5.
How did you build your clientele?
Word of mouth.
What was your specialty then?
Hair cutting, my speed. I could cut hair fast, and you won't be in the shop long.
Was it a lot of competition back then as far as barbers in the city of East St. Louis?
I never looked at it like competition because there's always been enough for everybody. All the barbers I know all went home tired. Everybody made some, and it's enough for everybody.
What gave you that attitude towards that? Because most people look at it. When I say competition, I mean, was it a lot of barbers or a lot of people in East St. Louis cutting hair at that time that you were coming?
Well, I never was one to look side to side. I stayed focused on what I was doing, and whether it being a lot of barbers or less barbers, I never dwelled on that. I did what I can do.
So from a barber, then what did you branch off into?
Barbering and working with other people.
Okay, you said you developed quite a few hair care products. What were those products that you developed?
Mostly hair care products for the Jheri Curl.
Please give us the history of the Jheri Curl, because that has been an argument for years.
The breakdown of the softener, the shampoo, the activator.
Why was it called a Jheri Curl? And who invented it? Did you invent the Jheri Curl?
Willie Morrow invented the Jheri Curl out of California.
Did you go to California to perfect that?
I went to California because we had a product, and I wanted to be able to say our product was manufactured in California.
So how long did it take to develop your products?
We developed it soon after we got into it, but it got better and better and better. And we had shows where I got pictures of products on the wall. See that black bottle?
Mm-hmm.
Way over there by that picture, that bottle?
Yes, sir.
And that picture up under it, That's what we had. We introduced that bottle through a little convention that we had, and that's that newspaper that shows to all the people that work with me, and they on there. And that bottle is in the middle of a cake.
This is the first bottle.
Yes. And this bottle is in the middle of a cake right here.
Show really they were shooting was Swamp Thing. I was dying to get on it. And
What made you name it Paradise? Like what brought that on?
It was Hair Doctor at first, and I got in a little trouble, so I had to switch the name.
What kind of trouble did you get into?
Oh, that's mischievous, tax trouble, and I had to start over.
What made you take it to the next level? Because you brought it from California back to this area. What was that like?
It was a job, and it was showing how it represented me, and I felt like what I was offering was a good product, and I felt like it would work all over the world, anywhere.
Did it catch on fast, or did it take time to catch on?
It took time.
How long did it take, in your opinion?
In some instances, it took months. Then sometimes it took 2 or 3 years to catch on, but it did catch on.
Did you start supplying everybody else in the city with the products after it caught on?
No, that was my job. What I felt like I wanted to open up distributorships for myself. That's why I opened up salons in California and Texas, and two in St. Louis, and 3 in East St. Louis. I wanted to be able to offer the product to whoever wanted it. It was a big demand for it.
At your height, man, like how much product were you producing and distributing?
Oh man, 5,000 or 6,000 monthly cases, and that's why I had the Mosley Mansion on 33rd and State. I went to Elvis Presley's house, a Presley's mansion, and I was so impressed by it. I came back here and bought me a funeral home and turned it to a Mosley
I was
Mansion.
just going to say that was the old
Mosley
fireman's,
Mansion.
but after that it became the fireman's hall next to Clark, right?
Right.
I never knew that.
And I
That's
had
crazy.
5 different lounges in there: New Orleans, New York, L.A., and we had a master ballroom.
Hey man, you giving me a lot of history. I'm gonna tell you, I always thought that was the fireman's hall. I never knew that was the Mosley Mansion. So I have a lot of stores. You've met a lot of stores.
Oh, yeah.
But you yourself do you consider yourself a star or a legend?
I consider myself as a serious person, and you get started in that. Comes up out of that when you're serious about something you do and you're successful.
What caused your entrepreneurial spirit? Like what built that fire within you to want to be your own man, to be your own boss, to be your own everything? Like what caused that? What promoted that with you?
To have no limits on how far you wanted to go. To go as far as the business will let you, and the sky's the limit.
Did you hold other kind of jobs growing up?
Never. That's all I ever done.
You ever been married?
Oh, I'm married now.
How long you been married?
Oh, I got married, I think, in '82. That's my wife and my son on that picture where he graduated from the school that Barack Obama went to, and that bottle of shit champagne he's holding.
Mm-hmm. Wow. What is your most memorable experience with the hair care, like in the hair care industry? What has been some of the most memorable experiences you've had over the years? I mean, I'm sure it's innumerable.
It's so many.
What was your first one where you were like, man, I've arrived?
I made my first commercial on WESL, and Jim Gates was making a commercial for me, and I was waiting on him to make it, and he called me one day while I was real busy, and he asked me if he made the commercial and he sent a lot of people to me, could I handle it? And I didn't know he was making a commercial off of what I said. So out the blue, I just said, "What do you mean? Am I doing the things to handle it?" And that was my nickname all over town. They used to call me "Set Up to Handle It." They would say, "Hair doctor, you set up to handle it? Just come on the side." And that was a nickname. That was a cliche. And I just said, "Am I doing things to handle it?"
Where did the hair doctor name originate from?
A girl that worked for WSL told me I needed a nickname if I was going to be on the radio, and we thought of a lot of names, and I idolized Dr. J. And so when she said I needed a nickname, I just said, "Well, about hair doctor." And I knew at that time I had to live that name. I had to build that brand up, and I did everything I could to personify it.
We also know about the book that you wrote
Yes.
and distributed a couple of years ago.
Right.
Tell us about that, and how was that experience?
Well, it was so many different different things that I have done. I wanted to put it in my own words so that when I'm no longer here, it would be a book here saying how it really was, not the hearsay or whatever, coming from my mouth. And once I completed it and got it out, I felt complete.
What was the first quote unquote star's hair that you did that came to get the Jheri Curl, if you can remember?
A newsman named Julius Hunter.
Hey man, you're giving a lot of history. Like it's like these names is St. Louis people that have been around for years. Who, man, what were the places that you like to visit? Like what were places that you frequented during your travels promoting your hair care products, or what were your favorite places to go?
California, everywhere, New Orleans. Those were my hopes and dreams to have shops all over the world.
How long did you have the shops in California, and what locations were they in?
In Inglewood, California, 2 blocks from where the Lakers play ball at.
Can you hold that book up so we can see? That's your book, right?
Yeah. That's at LA. Inglewood, California.
Wow. Hold up the cover so they can see. And where can they get
Here, 1923 Washington.
They can come and get it here.
Yeah, we out of it, and we won't have nothing to stop until the end of June.
What has been the receiving on that
I
book?
stay out of them. I don't have any now.
And you've been in the hair care industry for how long?
I've been in the hair care, it was since 72, 73.
Have you ever saw yourself doing anything else?
Nothing else. I feel like it's a gift from God.
Do you ever see yourself retiring and just stepping away?
No. And that's a good thing about this business. You work a little bit, you rest a little bit. So it's not a stressful job. And then most of the people I deal with are my friends, so I don't consider it as work.
What do you do in your off time for fun, man? Like what is that?
Skate.
Where do you like to skate, Mr. Mosley?
Everywhere. I got a picture of me and my son skating in New York at Rockefeller Center.
Wow. I know what prompted the iconic color scheme for your airport, because if I'm not mistaken,
turquoise and pink.
your businesses used to be called Airport, then you converted to Paradise. But when they were Airport, the turquoise and pink, man, where did that color scheme come from?
It was the going colors. It was the pink was the white and the turquoise was the black. those colors, and most businesses all over the country was dealing with it. Most of your videos had a lot of pink in them. Paradise. All right. Okay. All right. When do you think you'll be able to come? Tomorrow, when you leave the dentist, just stop by here. Okay. All right. I'll be looking for you. Okay, baby. All right. My Easter was beautiful. Yes. Okay. I'll be looking for you. All right.
Business is still good.
Oh yeah.
Was it ever a time where was the Jheri Curl the main source of revenue or the main source of business?
Yes. Always was.
Did you ever notice a taper off? Because most people, oh man, the Jheri Curl played out, but people still wear it. Like, what is that about?
Well, then see what you had those people that deal with it because it was a trend, and then a lot of people deal with it because it was easy accessibility. It was what they needed for the minutes they hair because they was probably had some illness. They didn't have the time to put into it, so it was mostly a convenience.
So it never tapered off, in your opinion. It
Never.
stayed. The business is still the same.
Right.
How do you feel about creating something or being a part of something that has withstood the test of time as the Jheri Curl has? Because your name is synonymous with the Jheri Curl. Like the folklore is, he brought it from California to the area and it spread out, and you're responsible for that. How does it feel to be the forefather of the Jheri Curl, basically?
No, it's you made a contribution to society. That's the way I feel.
Do you consider yourself a legend?
Uh,
Or do you let the people decide?
I think that's what the people need to decide.
Do they tell you that? On
All the time. All the time.
What about the respect level?
Oh, I get much love.
You don't travel with security. You don't travel.
no,
with, you don't travel with an entourage. I've never seen you with anybody. I've always seen you alone, man.
It's not that bad.
How does it make you feel to get that kind of love in an area
Worthwhile.
where there's so much hatred, man? Like it's
Yeah.
they still love you. Like to this day, they love you.
Yeah.
Is it the way you interact with people? Is it the way you do business? Like, you know, what do you think is essential to maintaining the love and respect out here?
It's like people recognize you as being legit, and that's the main thing that I care about.
Did you change the colors from? I noticed you don't really do the pink and green turquoise anymore.
The cars are still there.
If you could go back and talk to a young pre-hair doctor, knowing what you know now, what would you tell them?
I wouldn't do anything different. I wouldn't do anything different. You can go back and try to change things and mess up everything. And so, and it might not be conceived the way that people conceived it. So I wouldn't change it.
And in closing, what would you like for your legacy to be? What would you like to be remembered by in your words?
I did my best and I love what I did.
Hey man, we thank you for taking time out with us. We thank you for sharing with us, and we wish you all the best. And we want to give you your flowers, man. You are a legend. You are a living icon. You are synonymous with so many things when it comes to St. Louis, and you're still here. You never left. And we want to thank you for that, and thank you for all your contributions. Thank you, Mr. Mosley.